What's up? Good morning, Sumaher. Astrobeat, what's up, guys and girls? Alright. Weird Wednesday, unusual openings. Weird Wednesday. Let's do it. 7 plus 5. Resign early and often. That's my philosophy I share with Magnus Carlsen. What's up, Miro BTW? How's your Alaskan superstorm? I didn't see anything about it in the news this morning. Far away and uneventful. Yeah. Alright. I didn't see anything crazy there with the news. Just checking. Is it crazy cold here? It's been cold. Yeah. It's been really cold the last couple of days. Very strange weather. Alright, we're gonna start. We are starting. Caro can't. The Caro can't. Supposed to play weird openings. Alright, so we got weird openings. If I play e4, it's Caro Can. If I play d4, it's Queen's Gambit. Yeah. Go with the d4. It was a little windy a few days ago. Yeah, I mean, I just never saw like a news story about, I don't know, tropical storm, typhoons in Alaska. I mean, you don't see news about Alaskan weather too often. So, just a little gambit. Black Mardeemer, the hardcore black Mardeemer fans. So bishop g4. I think I like g6 the best. This is interesting. All right. I mean, I guess conventional wisdom is bishop c4, right? Threatening bishop takes f7, check. Then you supposedly, yeah, you play e6. I don't know how bad the black Mardeemer really is. I think, obviously, black should be fine. Is it kind of like the Smith-Morrow level of compensation? Perhaps something on that. Do I really need to worry about like c5? No. c5 is not an issue. It's a non-issue. There was no reason to put my bishop on a shitty square on e3. Okay, it's not that bad, but I don't want to promote exchanges of pieces with like knight d5. I'm not sure what black's doing here. Knight d7 looks a bit strange. I never played the black Mardeemer though. It's like allowing d5 potentially for white, which could be very dangerous. d5, you know, but he hasn't played c6. d5, bishop c5 check, king h1, and then I guess he could castle. So I'm not sure I want to do that. The main thing is to move as fast as possible without thinking. Obviously, that's the goal here. It's working, you know, it's working. If you look at his score in the last 20 games, his system is working. Think as little as possible, but move as fast as you can. Alright. Life is hard. I know. Thinking takes effort, and you have to... Cold is 40. Dude, it's cold here. It was like a little better today. It's like 17 degrees Celsius. I think high temperature for today, which should be upon us. Upon us, Apollo. What do I do? What if I just played h3? It would weaken my king side. Why do I need to play h3? Well, there's like the knight b6 thing. Queen e1, unfortunately. I can't get out of the pin without allowing knight b6. There's king h1, maybe. 40 now, you have window open. Dude. It's crazy here, though. I mean, I normally don't mind if it's chilly a little bit, but it was so hot, like the whole summer, crazy hot, that even a little bit cold now is like a sudden transition. It's I forgot what it's like to be cold. It's just like you're hot, brutally hot all the time. Cold is, what is cold? I didn't even remember what that is anymore. Mr. Slow. Mr. Slow is subscribed for 36 months. I can always use that to tell me, when fall of 2019 was. I could just look and see when Mr. Slow started subscribing. That's how long I've been away from the United States, almost. Thank you for subscribing, man. Mr. Slow usually working. We don't have a lot of viewers in the morning streams. It's just that I have to teach lessons in the afternoon. And I like to mix it up, not always having a stream every evening. So we've got morning, evening, alternating. And my viewers aren't as numerous in the morning streams. It's not an ideal time slot, this. But we don't usually get working people here. Students, people from other time zones, acerbate. All right. Break the pin, brah. Pin it and win it. The Black Mardimer Gambit. In Alaska, it feels 10 to 20 degrees warmer than it would in the rest of the U.S. The angle of the sun warms your body up more, assuming you're outside, I guess, right? That's weird. Stapfargen. Tobias is like Stapfargen's speaker. House speaker. Parliamentary speaker. Does Stapfargen not speak English or something? I just assumed everyone from Scandinavia speaks English. I guess that's a stupid assumption, though. What most do. Alright, 95. Man, I haven't had anyone approach me about lessons in a long time. I don't advertise lessons because I have a full schedule. But I was thinking, I have all my regular students. I'm glad they're happy that everybody, is learning. But I mean, I haven't literally had anyone leave, so everyone is satisfied. On the other hand, I haven't taken on any new students in a long time because I didn't have any open times. So it's kind of weird. I'm not Bruce Pandolfini where I'm trying to have 30 students at one time or something. I mean, but it's just the longest I ever went without a turnover. Air humidity? You guys can debate coldness on different continents. No, my continent's colder. No, The Atlantic Ocean is colder than the Pacific. No, it's not the Atlantic, actually. None of you are connected to the Atlantic. Alright, whatever. Pacific, Atlantic, North Sea, I don't know. This looks good for white. This is getting better and better all the time. Juicy. And not a lot happening on the C4 diagonal. We're going to change diagonals. The diagonal of the sun is definitely... The angle of the sun is definitely pointed at H7 in this position. We are changing the agnal. This agnal this is an agnal. We're playing weird openings today. I'm fully into Gambit repertoire. I've become good. We don't debate here. I was never on the debate team. I don't think my school had a very good debate team. Probably not a lot of future lawyers. That was for nerds anyway. I just did chess club. Just kidding. Just kidding! We had a really bad chess club. Surprising we had a chess club at all in high school. I have a very small high school. And a very small chess club. My math teacher used to play like E4, C5, D4. Yeah. We thought that was normal in 7th grade. Boom. Dude, alternative facts, Tobias. Very popular these days. It's no longer clear, like, what facts really are. The world's a-changin', my friend. Facts are debatable. Apparently. The definition of fact isn't so clear. And then that becomes a problem when the definition of fact is no longer clear. We have a strong attack here. Virtually unlimited possibilities. G4. Don't try to confuse me with that fact stuff. That's great. That was like the... What's his name? The comedian. Third Rock from the Sun. What's his name? John? Whatever. John Lithgow being Rudy Giuliani. Don't try to confuse me with that fact stuff. Give me another glass of wine. John Lithgow is awesome. Okay. Maybe that looked more like Donald Rumsfeld. I probably sounded more like... I was trying to be Rudy Giuliani. I have a really bad New York... I can't do a New York accent. Even though I grew up like 2 hours from New York City, I have zero ability to do a New Yorker accent. It's pretty funny. My Rudy Giuliani sounds like Donald Rumsfeld, I guess. Just a drunk New Yorker. Alright, you just have to sound like a drunk New Yorker. Easy. Bishop g6, dude. That's annoying. Where is Sumaher's time? Dude, where did your time go? The bishop on g6 is the biggest pain in my butt, man. How do you get rid of that? You can never get rid of it, literally. I need to sneak over here. I really don't want to play h4 unless I have to. My kingside already only has 2 pawns to protect it. White clearly has a big attack, but is it big enough? Is it big enough? Wow, look at that. That's a nice. That's a nice. Oh my god. Oh my god. Thinking. Stinking and thinking. We must. Oh my god, he did that. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. h5. That's a different story. Story time. What am I doing? Don't even have a plan. He's a defensive genius. Knight f6 check. I'm gonna do it. This is crazy, dude. Oh no. This has to work. I have to do c4. Oh. Play much bullet chess? Yeah, I just, for some reason, totally forgot about the fact that I had c4. He's left the building. Oh, that's weird. When I played rook d1, like, I was kind of lost, and originally I was planning to play rook ae1, but I realized it was kind of a dead end. Yeah, I need to incorporate the c4, but I mean, you know, the timing is important. I wasn't thinking about c4, it was like an afterthought. You play much? 1-0? I had 74%. I like this new accuracy feature. 74% accuracy to 74% accuracy. That's a good game right there. I'm curious about my Black Redeemer opening, though. I mean, no real players play the Black Redeemer, though maybe they should. How are the statistics with Black Redeemer, I wonder? God damn it, Jerry. Okay, let's just say like this starting position, right? Alright, knight takes f3. Black has 45 to 23. Okay, so like, objectively it's not as good as, say, the Smith Gambit in the Sicilian. But, we have another case where you can't, like, accept statistical results in a vacuum. The problem is you have an opening where all the white players basically suck, or they're like crazy, or they, you know, they're not like quality players featured in this list here. There's also a lot of correspondence games. Obviously, Arnold Haugen is a correspondence player, clearly. So you can't really judge a book by its cover. Even though Black has a 2-1 score in this opening, it's probably not that bad. I think the chances are like 90% of the players who are Black are like higher rated than the players who are white in most cases. It's playable. It's not great, but playable. Bishop c4 is not commonly played here. See, h3 like weakens white's king side a lot. I don't know, you know. Will the engine agree with me that bishop c4 is a more constructive move than h3? Still, h3 may be good. Maybe there's a concrete line. h3, bishop h5. Yeah, maybe h3 is justified. Okay. h3, bishop h5. It's like if Black... See, this is the problem with bishop g4. If Black exchanges the bishop, well, it already has compensation, according to the computer. So you basically like have to play bishop h5. Here, the engine has a novelty, bishop e6. Objectively, there's a lot of unexplored territory in the openings, especially with really unrespected openings like the Black Redeemer. This is probably a very solid move. Deserves to be explored, but okay, bishop h5, g4, or queen e2. You know, there's a lot of fertile ground here. I like playing these weird gambits. If you take it seriously, go full Jabava, I think we could get some points in over the board chess. But you can't be too predictable. Like you can't like have your opponent like expecting you're gonna play the Black Redeemer. You know, that then you lose all value. It's alright, it's gotta be a surprise. Mr. Slowhand, what's up? Gotta be a surprise. Speaking of gambits, I won't. Mr. Slowhand plays the King's Indian and the Sicilian, usually. And I want to play unusual openings. I'm playing a lot of gambits this week. I don't want to play the Smith-Mora gambit, because that makes me think about you-know-who, my favorite chess streamer. What about like e4, c5, the wing gambit with b4? It's interesting. Bird! No! There was this great, iconic chess player in Cambridge, Massachusetts, where I used to play Blitz. I had a dream last night. Oh my god. He was in my dream last night. Oh. The master of Harvard Square, Murray Turnbull. He would bring a water gun, and he would shoot the pigeons in the trees while he was playing Blitz, so they didn't like shit on him. It was awesome. Mr. Chessmaster, why do you have a water gun? It's like, phew. Great idea. Environmentally friendly. non-fatal to the pigeons. Sometimes he would hit innocent bystanders. This is it, the Goring Gambit. This is my new repertoire. The slow, Mr. Slow, not Mr. Slow, Summon Unsound. Goring Gambit is actually sound. I looked at this the other day, but like I'm drawing a blank now. It's like a C3 system. I'm drawing a blank. What does this do? It transposes to something else? I think I had a bad player play knight to g4 against me, but clearly that's not a good move. Wow, my research was incomplete on this variation. I think I meant to look at it and then like just was remiss in my researches. I got distracted or something. I don't even know, like totally makes sense. Similar to the Joko. Man, I don't know. I don't know. What was I supposed to be play in this position? Bishop d3, d5. Takes. And he takes d6. I mean, I guess that's playable. Nothing special. I don't really like it though. I mean, bishop d3, d5, takes. We could play for the initiative there, I guess. No guarantee. Obviously, I can play pawn takes pawn, but it's like lame and sort of hollow. You know, after pawn takes pawn, bishop b4 check, I feel like white's just like kind of overextended. This move has a little more poison to it. Safargan won against a 2450 some days ago against the Goring. Oh, he just played d3. Yeah, I mean d3 is obviously a move. There's nothing wrong with d3. It's a move. But I think it's similar to the Mora again. You know, the declined Mora. That d3 against the declined Mora. I mean, if White knows what he's doing, he just gets like a Marazzi, like a good Marazzi. It's kind of similar. Maybe not as bad though. It might be a little better than playing d3 in the Mora Gambit. I think the better way to play, if you want to decline it, is to play just d5. You know, on move 3 or move 4. Move 4. Just play d5. It's like a transition to a exchange French or something. Black should be fine. So now if I play pawn takes pawn, we have like a Joko where my bishop's on the wrong square, I guess. I was planning on taking Elephant Gambit. It's the Elephant Gambit reversed. I'm playing a lot of Elephant Gambits. I'm really into it. Elephant never forgets. Elephant is just brutal, man. I've been looking at like this line that Jabava plays. He's crazy, but you know, I wonder how deep his preparation goes in those crazy Gambit lines. Probably really sick. He's a crazy guy. Seriously insane in the membrane. Rook e1, anyone? h3 is slow. I think the truth is here that white just doesn't have any edge, and has to be careful not to be worse. But maybe we can find a way. Mr. So he's very thoughtful and pretty sensible about openings. So pawn takes pawn, bishop g4. I already don't know if I like it. Pawn takes pawn, bishop g4, knight c3, knight takes d4. I have other tricks though, like d5 there. It's not so clear. It's like a really weird Petrov. Guys, we got Miro, BTW, and then GM Sean. GM Sean might be a subscriber. Usually not, but maybe they are a subscriber. Where is everyone? Come on, 11 viewers? Are you watching some random chess girls? I like how random chess girls who are rated like 900 have 1,000 viewers on the evil chess site. Like, they're just thousands of like 9-year-old or 12-year-old boys who like watching 900 rated chess girls. Is that real, or are those just like bots that chess.com bought for these people? Are there people really watching like 1,000 1,000 players playing chess? I mean, I get it, but it's like, why chess? Okay. Just don't understand, but whatever. You can watch real chess players, even pretty ones sometimes. You can get the best of both worlds. Why do people want to watch streamers who suck at chess? I don't understand that, really. Maybe if they have a tremendously funny personality. Alright. Tremendously interesting personality. But what I've seen, for the most part, don't understand. I'm bitter. Embittered. But we have 11 viewers. It's a lot. I know where I'm going to put you all, but we'll try to find a place. Embittered the wizard. What about d5? What about this pawn, man? This pawn. I play h3. Of course I play h3. Do I? Is he threatening? Are you threatening me? Are you threatening knight f5? How dare you threaten knight f5? You're threatening me. I have a guinea pig. He threatens you too. He makes this like sound with his teeth when he wants food. He's like, he chatters his teeth at you when he wants to be fed. Old, hungry guinea pig. About the weather, yes. Thanks to everybody who is a subscriber. Miro, Bijak, Tabayas. Tabia. I always wasn't sure I like pronouncing it that way. It sounds weird, Tabia. I don't know. Where does that word come from? Word. Bishop d3, bishop f5, d5, bishop takes f5. These are the possibilities we have to continue to think about. Well, you're not going to play knight f5. Oh shit. That explains everything. Tobias, or Tobias. That's another one. Now I'm as confused as ever with that name. Tobias or Tobias or it's hopeless. I give up. I give up with words. All right, words are tricky. You know, being an American and living in Hungary, man, we had a player on our team with your name passed away. It was so shocking. He had like a heart failure while he was cycling, and I guess they could have saved his life if he had, like, you know, if they had had like a way to get a defibrillator, but it was somewhere in the woods or something, so that sucks. The guy looked like he was a lot healthier than me. We were all shocked. Anyway, another one of our viewers is Tobias as well. Spectacular Camel. But I never grew up knowing anyone with that name, so there is a funny American version of it, which would be Toby. But almost no one has that name. It's like really old-fashioned, and I guess it probably is related. A lot of German immigrants and stuff went to the United States in the 1800s especially. Probably that's where Toby comes from. My family's German on both sides, but you know, whatever. Northern European. But it's just funny, like you just never would learn how to say. I never learned how to say that name because no one has it, you know. I never met a person with the name Tobias until I moved to Europe. It's just not in my repertoire of names I know how to say. And then if am I supposed to say Tobias or Tobias? I don't know how to pronounce it. William. And I end up like pronouncing it like both ways, and I'm never sure, you know. It's really awkward. So I just like I could meet the same person and say his name like two different ways the first two times I meet them. It's so funny. I just don't know what to do. Squares. What's up, Juicebox Wizard? Juice blocks. You're not giving me a lot of choices about my queen position here, but I don't really like e2. See, I think a lot. Like, most people don't think much. Thinking is generally a good thing. We're gonna thinking outside the box here with queen d1. You know, most people would put the queen on a different square, but I think this is probably our best bet. Because we have queen b3, this could be a comfy, cozy little niche here. c6, he's so solid. Stop being so solid, man. Driving me crazy. Mr. Slow is a good player. Seriously good player. He's a seriously dangerous guy who's pissing me off. And fast too. And he's trolling everyone with his ratings that are absurd. Stop that. There's a lot that happened behind the curtain in this game. You know, I made the Wizard of Oz reference yesterday. A lot of times games that look boring, you know, there's a lot of subtle stuff going on that just like didn't happen in the game. That's kind of like in this game. You know, I played a sharp gambit. There's more to the game than meets the eye. Some subtle positional stuff going on. I think that Mr. Slow played really well. I played okay. Yeah, a5 is another problem. Dude, why don't you just play the Slav? Just play the Slav. Get it over with. Draw. Out for a draw. I don't want to just like flag him. He played a good game, you know. The B in European, the O. And almost no B. Also, Americans say a hard and long A at the end. Don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it either, so take that. It's a friendly draw for... We're down to no time. Mr. Slow. Forward accuracy is 87% accuracy. Sparkle is 87% accuracy. That's funny. That's the second game in a row I had the exact same accuracy as my opponent. Right? First one is 74% accuracy. So let's check this opening. Goring Gambit with knight f6. Ah. So this is weird. Knight d5 is the main move, but you played knight e4. Oh no. Queen e2 is theory. Ah. That's weird. So that's some sort of like technical problem with black's position here. Interesting. Alright, I didn't know. The more you know, the better. Knowledge is power. What's up, Juicebox Wizard? Wizard. Guys, please support the stream. Thank you for subscribing, Mr. Slow. I don't like this ridiculous situation we get into when it's like we both have 5-second increments left. You know, that's the thing, like we both used all our time and then we're down to our increments and it's just gonna be like who flags who. I'm honestly trying to play like longer time control games like 10-5. You're enjoying multipolarism. Dude, everyone has to be polarized about everything. That pissed me off, man. Like, the whole Hans Magnus thing. Look, I have this one chess friend I know, you know, who's like liberal. He's very polarized toward the liberal side and seems like a thoughtful person. But when it came to the Hans Magnus, he's like, I'm on team Hans, you know. Like, dude, first of all, it's not teams. This is not teams. We don't have to polarize Hans Magnus into teams, okay? People just don't understand, man. The hyperpolarism. Just because you're, you know, polarized politically doesn't mean we have to turn everything into a polarized discussion. It's not Team Hans versus Team Magnus. There's no Team Hans. There's no Team Magnus, you know? Seriously. It's not. We don't have to do that. Multipolarism. I like bipolarism. I think I'm bipolar. Do you want to play the Goring Gambit again? Goring is great. It does feel repetitive to play it a second time. But I'm kind of getting into it. I should have played the reverse elephant. Oh shit. Yeah, this is stupid. I should play d4 on move 2. This is another thing I was thinking about. Why not be the first to make the break? No, seriously. It's better to play d4 immediately. I realized that this morning. Of course it's better to play d4 immediately. Animal Farm is a must-read. I tried to get my son to let me read it to him, but he was bored, of course. I read it in like, thank you to my elementary school teacher. I don't know, I think it was 4th grade. and she had us do Animal Farm. Which Animal Farm audiobook do you have? I think I have one, but I haven't listened to it. What the hell just happened? Okay. So he's accepting. Yeah, would my today's elementary school teacher get fired for reading Animal Farm to the class? Is that a partisan? Is that a partisan thing to do? Is that polarized? Bishop c4 instead of knight takes c3? Yeah. That's similar to the Danish Gambit, right? I like Huxley's Brave New World too, if you like Animal Farm and 1984, all that kind of stuff, dystopian. Anyway, alright, what is this? Bishop d6. What, you were born in 1984? Are you that young? For me. Alright. You're that young. 89. Jesus Christ, dude. Luke, you are my son. So what is this anyway? This bishop d6? Hey, it's Mirror just made it up, or it's a real thing? In Denmark, they don't say Danish Gambit, Nordic Gambit. It's politically incorrect to say Danish Gambit. I don't think Hayes knows what he's doing. But this is the part where I lose to the computer because I lose my mind and go crazy. If I was playing a computer cheater here, I would definitely lose. I would get excited and sack a piece. Remember this, kids. 99% of tactics don't work. I should say 99% of combinations, to be more specific. I'm really tempted to try knight d5, knight takes c4. It probably does work somehow. But it seems overly fancy. Do you even develop? Do the do. Yeah, this is insane. Insane. Crime and Punishment? You mean dude, Dostoevsky? That was a great book. I loved that book. Knight takes e5. I had an English professor in college who was from South Africa, but he made us he was really anti-apartheid and stuff. He was a white guy, but he was very much against racism and apartheid. And we spent half of our year studying African literature and half the year studying Russian literature. So naturally, Dostoevsky was. I read Dostoevsky for fun, though. That wasn't one of the things he worked on. All right. No, I don't know. The other interesting line was knight d5, knight takes c4. Alright, I'd like to check that after the game. I have the feeling like it's too fantastic, and I'll probably end up losing to an online cheater named Hans Niemann. But here we have another option, you know. E5. What's wrong with E5? I can't believe it. Too fancy again. Mr. Fancy. Mr. Fancy Pants. Let's do it. Hello? I don't know. Hello? Are you there? Hello? Hello? Is our connection? Do you even Mr. Fancy? Evans Gambit Bishop B6 can be played. Yeah, of course it can be played. It's probably like slightly inferior though, because of some in some way, like, you know, inhibits black's natural development, but it's fully playable. I don't know much about that. I agree it's creative, but I think his development, you know, sometimes creative is bad. But maybe he's fine here. He just has to really pull the full engine style out on me. Yeah, I mean, he basically, yeah, he has to be like an engine. This is like the game I lost earlier this week. Probably white is lost. Maybe not. No, maybe not. I don't know. This is why, like, Emery Tate was only in IM, because he did crazy shit that was like you were smoking the ganja. Too creative, you know? Too creative. Can play a great attack, but at the same time, you know, sometimes you go too far. Okay. Queen e7. I was really thinking he's got to play d5 here. Just like the bot played against me earlier this week in a similar position. That Tate has wrote a book? No. But his son is like a misogynistic monster. Reality star. Emery was a psychopath, and he has like left this world. Queen e7 is kind of a weird move. But he was a talented psychopath. That's why I reference him a lot. What is Queen e7? Seriously, he's trying to play Queen c5 check. Pawn takes pawn, Queen c5 check, Queen d4. I don't know, man. I'll give you a break. I could elaborate, but it would be like X-rated, and I couldn't share it on the stream. Well, not really. I don't know. Queen d4. I'm not a licensed psychiatrist. My clinical opinion is unfounded by definite medical standards. Knight e4. Okay, time management, bad. You get a D in time management and like a C for your play. We'll barely let you pass. We're not going to hold you back. Hey, it's Miro. But we're very disappointed. Especially on time management. Yeah, Resigns is would be a little exaggerated, I guess. Do you really want to do that? Yeah, I'm not focused well. It's morning. My focus. Focus. Focus pocus. Damn it. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I knew it. I'm a mess. It's not your fault. I mean, the viewers. It's not their fault that I'm an idiot. Wow. God, I'm an idiot. That's a neat move. There's a list for players registered for the Senior World Championship, Mr. Slow. The registration deadline is October 20th. I'm kind of waiting on a friend of mine, my team captain, who said he's interested in playing as well. Waiting to see if maybe we'll go with someone else. I'm definitely playing, obviously, but I didn't know there was a list of players. Dr. Nunn. Oh, that's great. When you play in the World Senior, obviously you want Dr. Nunn in the field. I played Blitz with him. He's not, like he used to be or anything. He's beatable, but great player. Oh, and chess results. Okay. I didn't check that site. I expected, the main FIDE web page or whatever. I wonder if H4 is good. Now he's just going to hold a draw here. Chess jail. I mean, there's ways he can try to play for a win, probably. And he should, I guess. But objectively, this is a draw. Yeah, Mr. Slow, I haven't seen the list. But Dr. Nunn is 65 plus, right? Isn't he like 65? He could play in either group, though. You can choose to play in the younger group if you want. But I would think, like, $25.80. Oh my god. Are you serious? Yeah, but that's like rating protectionism. If John Nunn like played in regular tournaments on a regular basis, he'd be like $24.50 now. I mean, there's no way. That's like Yasser. I'd like to see John Nunn playing in the first Saturday tournaments. He'd be like $23.99, seriously. Like, there's a lot of rating deflation in the real world that some players aren't affected by because they just don't play. Sarawan, i.e., others. In reality, I know grandmasters who are 2,300 who used to be close to 26. I mean, it's pretty crazy. We lost. John Nunn is not 25.80, that's for sure. Alright, Dr. Doom is playing another game. Sorry, dude. Draco Fire, welcome. But that's good, the more of those like falsely overrated players, the better. That's great for me, One draw, and I gain like 10 ELO points. No. I can only gain like 6 rating points for a draw or something. Yeah, Bischoff and Rainier Knock, German, longtime veteran grandmasters. Bischoff. A link, please. You just have to go to chess results. Do we have a link, Mr. Slow? But you can search for it, Tabias. I mean, I don't have a link for you. But, search World Senior Championship, chess-results.com. There. Druckofir. I'm not registered yet, but I have until October 20th. Don't worry, I'm not going to back out, I'm going to play, but it's not clear who I'm going with. If one, like my family could go with me, or maybe another chess player for my team. I was kind of waiting to decide, exactly if I'm rooming by myself. We're gonna see. I would prefer to stay by myself unless I'm with my family. I don't really like rooming with other people unless I'm 100% sure they're shall we say, I was thinking of it actually calling Alexander Ivanov and inviting him. Maybe I still will. Let me know if Alexander Ivanov is on the list. Probably not. I figured he wouldn't think about it. It's not something he would do. Really? Like maybe Kaidanov or something like that. But any Americans on the list, I'll have to check it out. Heinrich Danielson is 50? Okay. Morovich, Nevenici, Pavlovich, Weisser, Knock, Dejan Antich, Balashov, Janza. Janza's amazing. What is Janza, like 80 something? Krijan Laszlo is like me, my age. I like how there's a player from the United States with an Indian name who I've never heard of. That's kind of crazy. Sure, he's American. Mikhail Koganov from the United States, another player I've never heard of. Tim Taylor. Man, he's kind of a weird guy. Another player from the United States I've never heard of. Greg Markson. So if Markson's playing, it's funny that Kudrin's not on the list. Markson is very good friends with Sergei Kudrin. They would often go to tournaments together. I would think if he was playing, Sergei would play. I should call up Alexander Ivanov and ask him if he wants to play. I would love to hang out with him. We got along fine, always. Once I stayed with him in Philly at the World Open, and we had to play during the tournament, and it was so funny because Alex was much higher rated than me, and we drew, and he was really pissed. And he wouldn't talk to me for a day in the middle of the tournament because he couldn't beat me. It was pretty funny. But it would be fun to see someone I know. I like how all the American players are people I've never heard of. And they all have foreign names, so they're all people who immigrated to the United States after I left. It's pretty weird. I'm not anti-immigration. It's just very strange. For people to immigrate to the United States, then fly over to Italy to represent the United States in the World Senior Championship. None of my friends are on the list there. Can you tell me my 2349? I'm 2349. Strongest American. But it's very, very likely Kudrin would play because he always travels with Greg Markson. They often go to tournaments together. Maybe he just hasn't entered yet. This is very early. We're still very early. There's a whole nother month. We lost sound in the middle of the stream. Must be you. 9 viewers, 8 viewers. None of those Grandmasters are scary, really. Even John Nunn isn't that scary. Nevenici's dangerous. He's a very strong practical player and very active, pretty active. But the others, there was no scary names there. Nevenici was just playing in the Romanian Rapid Championship. He did pretty well. Funny, Ohudnik I'd be surprised if Ohudnik doesn't play. He always plays in senior tournaments. There's going to be a lot more players for sure. Many more players. I'm surprised there's no Americans though. Real Americans that I knew from the old days, besides Tim Taylor. He was a weird guy. It was funny, in 2004 when I moved to Hungary, Tim Taylor had just been playing here, and he was writing some articles from some internet cafe near the Chess Federation, and when I arrived, I went to the same internet cafe, and he had left all his files on this random computer in the internet cafe. It was dude, that's kind of weird. Yeah. He's a weird guy. I mean, personally, seems kind of strange, but he's written decent books, I guess. He did something on the birds. Was it? Actually, he did an Anti Smith Mora. He's not a bad player, but he's much older than me. Not a great player, not a bad player. Like me. Bishop f1. No, I mean, I think like for Americans, the expenses are high. Prizes aren't that big, and you know. Why would an American grandmaster play in this tournament? Ivanov is professional. He plays for money. You can't possibly offset your costs. There's no way that Alexander Ivanov could play in this tournament and offset his costs unless I like pay for his accommodation. But I wonder if I invited Alex, he would come. If he could make a profit on the tournament. Still, even just the flight cost would make it. It's practically impossible. Unless someone's going to pay for his travel costs. Why should American grandmasters play in the World Senior Championship? It's only for, like, you know, basically it's really just for people on holiday. John Nunn is on holiday. Hopefully Nigel Short doesn't show up or something. Yeah, no. If you're a professional player, you don't play in this tournament. You know, looking at that list, the only player I saw who might be a professional player is Nevednici. But Nevednici can, like, drive to the tournament from Romania, you know. I mean, it's possible he could keep expenses low enough and has enough chances to win first place to, like, make it feasible to play and make a profit. It's also 11-round tournament, 11 days accommodation. I think even for Nevednici, it's not. It's just like a holiday with his wife or girlfriend. Irina Bulmaga. I was just on Facebook yesterday, and Ohatnik had posted photos from the Romanian Rapid Championship, and Nevednici was there with his girlfriend, who's a very strong women's player, right? There's also a rest day, one rest day. And there's like the arrival day, which is technically considered a day. Maybe, yeah, I mean, that's why I have a chance to win. That's the whole point, you know. If it was a regular open tournament with full strength grandmasters, I have no chance. But I mean, it's a holiday tournament. John Nunn is like 100 rating points overrated. Any company during tournament? How's that? Company? No. Company tournament. This is a company tournament. You mean like visitors? Visiting hours are over. Please go to the head nurse's desk and report your arrival. Yeah, I don't know. You know, my team captain, Sherish Bela, and one of my other teammates, Gela Ishvan, are interested in going. I could save money by driving. You know, if they want to drive, then I don't have to pay for for that, which would be nice. But I like to room by myself in most cases. There are certain people I will room with. Solancy, I thought about taking Solancy. I could bring Solancy with me. He's like not a bad person to analyze with. Like a second. I thought about that. That's a possibility. He's 60. He would be 65. It's not bad to have someone if you can tolerate them, you know. I don't want to have like Jesse Cry or Javier Moreno or someone I can't, deal with. Jesse was like a baby and he's complaining if you snore at night. Charlie Hurtan. There's a lot of people that I've gone to tournaments with that are babies and they complain about everything. You don't want to be at a tournament like that with your people. The person you're staying with is like constantly complaining about stuff. You don't want to like generally take your family, girlfriends, or friends who are like annoying to chess tournaments if you want to have like a good result. Very important. I mean, I have a lot of experience. Ivanov is a great roommate. Having a good roommate is very important. That's why I would take Alex Ivanov. I would take Solancy, but not some other people, not some random person. The other thing is like when you go to a tournament and you ask for a double room, if you get a bad roommate, you're like screwed. It happened to me a lot. It happened to me many times. I'm just gonna have like a single room unless it's someone that I know that I can deal with. Hurtan was like one of the worst. You don't have distractions, You gotta have someone who's tolerant. Joe, my friend Joe, is a great person. I wish I could talk him into going. He'll never go. It's really important if you share a room with someone that they're tolerant. You'd never ever want to go to a chess tournament or any kind of thing with someone who's intolerant or self-centered or something like that. It's a big, big drawback. It can ruin your whole tournament. You missed my wonderful long hair, dude. What? Yeah. Me too. Guys, do we have any more challenges? I have time. We have another half an hour to go. I miss my wonderful youth. I would share a room with someone who I like to stay with, but not just a random person. I've had too many bad experiences with babies. Jesse Cry was one of the worst. He bailed on me at this tournament. I had to pay for the room by myself. Okay, Mr. Slow, thank you. Let's do it. Let's get another challenge. Even John Fedorovich wasn't that bad. I don't think John would ever go. Maybe if you paid for his trip or whatever, he would probably go. But he's kind of a baby too, not as bad as most people. Alright. Babies. Baby Magnus. No, Magnus, I like Magnus. We like Magnus, but we don't have to make everything partisan. We're not on Team Magnus. It's not a team. Let's play this. There's no Team Magnus. There's no, Team Hans. Hans is just a cheater and a scumbag. There should be zero tolerance. I cheated when I was 12 and 16. Dude, whatever. No, I never met Hans. I have no interest in doing so. I know people like him. I totally identify with Magnus's stand. Most people don't, though. I'm definitely not on Team FIDE. We're playing the London system. Oh, good. Team FIDE. Yeah, e6 is maybe one of Black's best lines, objectively, I would think. Knight b5. Am I supposed to do that? It's not really the London system. This is Jababa. Gotta like Jababa, even if he's crazy. I respect the Jababa. He's just a little emotionally unstable. That's alright, though, Maybe I am too. I've been out of the United States a lot, longer than Hans has been alive. I don't know. Never met him. I don't really want to. In one of the books, the Reverse London was called The Boring System. Isn't that like Elon Musk's company? The Boring Company. I also have a lot of love for Elon Musk. Great guy. Just kidding. Meme of yourself. Yes. I don't know, man. I know that knight b5 is a move here. I saw an interesting game. Was it bishop d6? I think bishop d6 is playable. Nylon Mask is the best Musk. Nylon Musk. Of course. I never played Jababa London. I'm just playing weird openings today while talking about Hans and Magnus for something new. Dude, it's just a classic boy who cried wolf story. I mean, and Magnus is having a midlife crisis. Give him a break, dude. He did his work. He was world champion for 10 years. Show him some respect. Don't sign up for Team Hans. Elon could be a great ambassador for chess. What we need is more Republican donors who are ambassadors for chess, like the great Rex Singfield. E3, A6. A6 is probably quite good. This is probably a good move. I mean, it slightly weakens these squares, but it's not a big deal. I think that the way he plays this is decent. I know you're being sarcastic. I am too. I mean, yeah. Because Elon Musk cares a lot about chess. You mean Elon Musk could be? Nylon Mask could be a great ambassador for chess. So what am I supposed to play now? Knight f3? This is a good system for black. Actually, I have a feeling like what he's doing here is recommended by the engine, probably as one of black's better setups. I always thought of e6 as kind of passive, but it seems like against this Jabava London, this e6, a6 with an early b5, this is probably like one of the safest ways to play. It discourages white from castling queenside. It reminds me of the French. It reminds me of classical French. You know, like if black's going to mobilize that stuff on the queenside, you can't go all in and castle opposite sides. So it leaves white kind of like, well, what do I do? You know, I can't do what I want to do. You know, I can't do my little queenside castles and throw everything at you on the kingside crap. No, h3 is a little slow, I thought. He just plays like bishop d6 if h3. I didn't like bishop d6. After h3, bishop d6, it looks like h3 was a total waste of time. Okay, it's okay, it's a move. That's why not. I don't like bishop d6, just trading off my bishop. I'm sitting there like, why did I play h3? But again, this is like my first time playing the Jabava London. I'm a Jabava London virgin. But I have renewed respect for Jabava. Yobava. I know it's Yobava, but I like saying Jobava because it sounds like Joe Mama. Alright. And I'm American and people cut me slack. Americans don't know how to pronounce shit. Yeah, I know I can play h3, bishop d6, knight e5, but my dark squares get it's a little weakened. h3 is still like utterly irrelevant there. Been there, done that. Bishop e7 is extremely solid. I like the way he played this. I would definitely play the same. Now maybe h3, you know, makes sense because it's a tempo. But I still think he's going to go b5 on me. h3 makes more sense than it used to. What you really got to ask yourself is, what would Richie Rapport do? What would Jabava do? I don't know. It seems like I don't know what I'm doing. Right. That's why he plays stuff. Rapport loves putting his knight in front of his c-pawn because his favorite maneuver is like knight a2. This is totally, you know, Chigorin as well with like knight a7. That was like one of my greatest like, what great players have you beaten? I beat Rapport in like 27 moves. It was a crush. Beautiful game. But he was young, as always. As John Curto said, you got to beat them while they're young. Beat them down early and often. No, this is a perfectly played game by Drakafire, I would say. The ideal way to play against a Jabava. Or Yobava. Ideal. Acme brand. Drakafire, like you play a perfect opening. What the bleep? Chess players were just children in general. Well, in Europe, I guess people still beat their children, but in the United States, it's frowned upon. Any views on Magnus? I love Magnus. I love him more than ever. That's my view on Magnus. I have renewed respect for Magnus. Good for him, man. I have more respect than I ever had. He's funny, man. I love the way he trolled the punk by by like pretending he was going to play and then resigning on move two, dude. That is priceless. It is so priceless. He's just sitting there at the computer like he thought that Carlsen would show him enough respect to play with him. That's what you get when you cheat, man. You're a cheater for life. It doesn't matter if you cheated when you're 12, when you're 16. You're a cheater, you're a cheater. You have no moral fiber. You're not going to just magically gain moral fiber at some point. You know, you weren't raised with moral fiber. You either have it or you don't. You know, it just doesn't appear one day. If you cheated before, you're likely to keep cheating. You don't have respect for the game, you know. I had the same situation, man. I had to play with this guy who cheated against me online in an over-the-board tournament. And I totally identify with Magnus. I refuse to play the guy. And you're like, well, it's over-the-board chess. He can't cheat, you know. Mr. Spock? Right. I understand that. But the problem is that you can't get it out of your head. You know this guy cheated against you. It pisses you off. It's distracting. And why the fuck should you have to sit down at the board against someone who cheated against you? You know? No, that's my take on Magnus. Kudos to Magnus, man. And I think he's having, by the way, like a midlife crisis. But, you know, whatever. He's due for a midlife crisis. I can't believe some of the people that are so dumb that they're like, Magnus is a baby, Magnus sucks, you know, I'm on Team Hans and stuff like that, Lionel. It's crazy, man. They don't even stop to think about the situation, you know. I'm not going to play with somebody who cheated against me online in an over-the-board game. There's no way. There's no way, dude. They had to move me from one board to another in the Hungarian Team Championship. We had to get another player on our team to fill in for me, to take over my board, because I refused to play with someone who cheated against me online. Period. So I completely identify. And, you know, not enough people have been in that kind of situation. If I had to sit down, I couldn't concentrate against this player. I'd just be, like, angry. It would affect my play. I probably would, like, lose because I hate them so much. I can't even concentrate. It's distracting. And I don't want to give them the respect. Dude, the guy was an online cheater many times. You don't get it, do you? Most people don't get it. In the past, he's been an online cheater many, many times, probably. That's it, man. He ruined his reputation. I mean, it's not about cheating in over-the-board chess. It's never been about... Dude, you don't understand, do you? Did you hear anything that I said? Laszlo, did you hear anything that I just said for the past 5 minutes? Like, it has nothing to do with cheating live. It never did. That's just made up by some idiots. People who can't see, like, you know, you can't see, like, just right here. You see on other levels. It's like, it went over your head. No, dude, you can't, it's not easy to cheat in over-the-board chess. It was never about that. That was just some bullshit that people made up. Stupid people think that the game was like he was cheating. No, of course he didn't cheat. How's he gonna cheat? He has a butt plug that he's, like, plugged into? Dude, it was a joke. You know, some bloggers and streamers made up some jokes. Obviously, it's not a question of cheating over the board. You're just missing the point, you know? Most people are missing the point. That's the problem. It's the problem, you know? That they're missing the whole point, you know? That they're missing the freaking point. This guy is a scummy online cheater. Why should Magnus Carlsen sit down at a table across from him? Ever, you know? And he's, like, obnoxious on top of being a cheater. It's like, dude, good for Magnus. Seriously. He's like an obnoxious punk with no respect for the game. Screw him, you know? But unfortunately, the Huffington Post and other somewhat respectable news agencies decide they want to publish this kind of garbage tabloid journalism where they're even giving any kind of credit to such absurd allegations. It's just distracting from the real story. The Magnus Group is trying to sell the company to lichess.com. Magnus can't talk about stuff. He's probably contractually obligated to keep his mouth shut about anything. Wall Street Journal, I don't think phrased it quite the same way. That they probably wouldn't have phrased it quite the same way, I would hope, as the Huffington Post did. I would hope. It looked like it was a tabloid headline from the supermarket checkout aisle. You know? That's what we're talking about. But Magnus can't come out and say, well, this guy is a scumbag. I mean, he could, but he's in the middle of this Magnus company selling itself to chess.com. There's a lot going on, you know, that people they just don't understand. Why is Hans in the Sinkfield Cup? Because Rapport couldn't play at the last minute? Because he's an idiot? I'm not saying, I think he should have resigned from the tournaments the minute that Hans was in the tournament. You know, if you want to, yeah, Magnus isn't completely in the right. I mean, he should have done it in a different way. But he thought he could manage it. It just was too much for him. I totally identify. I'm not saying Magnus is totally innocent. You should never withdraw from a tournament, from a round-robin tournament. But, you know, the bigger story is that this guy doesn't deserve to sit across the table from Magnus. I agree with Magnus. You have bishop b8 here. You're not in good position, but you don't have to resign. You're actually lucky you have bishop b8. Dude, he's... Never mind. I'm not gonna... See, this is why I don't even, argue with people on Facebook. They want to argue about everything. I've given my view, you know, which is most people can't see the forest for the trees. They don't know what's going on, you know. Like, Magnus is unsportsmanlike, he's a baby. It's not, that simple, you know, there's a lot more to it, obviously, but he can't talk about it. There's a huge deal being done between the Magnus company and Cheesecom. So he's tied up in that. And by the way, you know, probably it was just some random person that tweeted that, not Magnus himself. He has a team of people who handle his multimedia accounts and stuff like that. Alright. We got time for one more game. But I don't think it's a big deal. I'm not on a team, though. You know what pisses me off? That we have to polarize everything. It's no teams, you know? You're not on Team Magnus. If you put that you're on Team Hans on my Facebook, I'm defriending you right now. I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican, but nobody should be on Team Hans. First of all, nobody should be on a team, but if you're going to be in a team, you definitely shouldn't be on Team Hans. If one think not so worthy sitting opposite the table, then yes, leave the tournament, go resign. Yeah, I think that he should have just left the tournament immediately. That would have been the right thing to do. Any tournament where Hans is present. Magnus has a lot going on. People need to cut him a freaking break. You know that? Seriously. He's been world champion for like 10 years, his whole life being controlled by other people. He's the freaking world champion for more than 10 years. It's a lot of stress, you know. And he does one hasty decision and it's like, oh no, he's a baby. He's under a lot of stress. He's literally having a midlife crisis at age 30. Do you think he's happy about this chess com? Do you think he wanted them to sell the Magnus Group? I doubt it. That happened with no, he might have had no clue that was going to happen. That probably came as a complete shock. You don't think it's fair to convict Hans for something he may not have done? Dude, he's a convicted cheater to begin with. You don't understand. He's cheated online many times. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Nothing else matters. It's not convicting him of something he may have done. He's admitted he's cheated. He's been banned from chess.com before. Dude, what are you talking about? Hans is a scumbag, dude. Once you cheat, you're a scumbag for life. That's all there is to it. I don't care, if it's online or live or whatever. That's it. You're done, dude. In my book, I would never play with you. It's not just Hans, anybody. Once you cheat, you're done. It's no respect for chess, dude. I'm very serious about this. You have no respect for the game. He doesn't respect chess. Him or anyone who's ever cheated. If you ever cheated, I have no respect for you. For the end of your days. You're not going to grow morality, If you cheated when you're 16. If Magnus doesn't like Play Magnus to be sold, he could refuse to sell 1% of the stocks he has. I guess he could. But I guess the consequences of that might be worse than not. Of course it tells a lot of your character, man. If you cheat in online chess, what kind of human being are you? What kind of human being cheats in online chess, dude? What kind of good player cheats, ever? Of course it tells a lot about your character. And I agree. Magnus never cheated in his life. I would almost bet my bank account on it. Why would he need to? This insecure punk. Now he might legitimately be a really good player, but at that time, he was 2288 before. Of course he was cheating. No respect, man. We're not convicting anybody. He's already been convicted of being a cheater long ago, apparently. But I mean, I respect Magnus more than I ever respected him. It shows character. He's willing to put his reputation on the line to stand up for this thing. To make a stand against this guy. Rather than just, like most people would just let it blow over. Good for him, for not just letting it blow over. Yeah, cheating in scientific research, your career is over. Why should chess be different? I'm very angry. If you take Sebastian Feller and Igor Rausas, players who have, not online cheating, I mean over the board cheating, were convicted, caught using computer assistance in over the board. And they're back playing again. Sebastian Feller and Rausas are legally allowed to play chess. It's disgusting, I would never ever, if I got paired with one of those guys in a tournament, there's no way I'm not resigning on move one. If tomorrow I play in the World Senior Championship and Rouse is in it and I get paired with him, I'm just resigning. Your problem with cheaters is less the respect for chess, but more they don't respect the time their opponent put in actually getting that level. Well, that's a very good point. I've encountered grandmasters who cheat, so it's shocking to me. It's shocking to me. It's like, and it's going to destroy the game of chess ultimately, you know. And there's more to it than you think. It might take a while, but eventually, you know, computer cheating might be virtually indetectable, and it will be the end of the game as we know it, you know. Rarity is the best pony, Risky Girls. Magnus had poor judgment resigning. I agree, dude. I like it that he resigned on move 2, though. That's awesome, man, the way he trolled him. Because he could have just resigned on move 1. But I like that he got his hopes up that he would really play. That is Master Troll level. Troll Master level Magnus. Once you cheat, then all the gloves, you know, the gloves come off. Like, everything is... We can make 8 queens against you. You think Rarity is the best pony? Alright, I'm a brony. At least someone gets the joke. It was fun talking about Magnus, though, but I didn't put him in the title. I never really liked Magnus. You know, I'm not biased. I personally... I'm liking him more and more. Because I identify with it. Twice I was supposed to play this online cheater in the Hungarian Team Championship. The first time, I just made up an excuse and refused to play the match. And I didn't tell my team captain why. And honestly, it's just easier that way, right? We just avoid the problem. The second time, our team was in contention for the first division. So here I was like really in the dilemma. It was like a miracle presented itself, this like miracle solution where by this weird rule we could have another player take my board. It just was a kind of random possibility that was only possible because normally you can't switch board order, but because of this freak thing that happened, we could switch and I could play like the next board. And so we got someone to play my board, first board, and play the cheater while I played on board 2. And that way I didn't have to play the guy because I refuse. And our team qualified for the first division. Our board 1 held the cheater to a draw, and I was able to miraculously beat the board 2. And we qualified for the first division for the Hungarian Super League by half a point. We actually tied for first, literally. That match was me beating this guy on the second board, because they had no clue. We pulled a fast one on them. The cheater thought he was going to play me, and he probably prepared for me. Well, again, the thing is, the guy cheated online. He didn't cheat over the board, to my knowledge, but I couldn't possibly live with myself sitting down at the chessboard against him. The first board didn't care. He said, as long as he doesn't cheat in real over the board, I don't care. So I said, all right, fine. And so that's what happened. It's not that, man. It's that it makes me angry. It's angry. I'm angry. And if you're angry, Sometimes it helps, but sometimes it makes it hard to concentrate. I shouldn't have to be emotionally upset and play this guy, you know. I'm outraged that he had the audacity to cheat against me in online chess and try to pretend he didn't, you know, when it was perfectly obvious. So the bottom line is, like, I don't want to lose because I'm freaking pissed and I hate this guy. If I can't concentrate, I can't play the best for my team. So even though he can't cheat over the board, I still don't want to play him. Because it's going to be hard for me to concentrate against a guy that I just want to, like, punch him in the face, you know? I think that's kind of maybe like where Magnus is at, you know. Is it fair to have to sit there against this, you know, fuckface and, like, have to play them when you want to just, like, kick his teeth in? Should you have to sit there for, like, 5 hours looking at his ugly face? I don't think that you should have to, you know, honestly. The Mindstein, for me personally, there is no difference between cheating online or over the board. Yeah, cheating is cheating, exactly. But I don't want to have to sit there for 5 hours looking at the smirking fuckface who cheated against me online. You know, I shouldn't have to. I don't agree with you, G-Souts. You have to respect your opponent no matter what. No, you don't. You don't. You have to earn, people have to earn respect. You should respect your opponent, you know, until they don't respect you. Have to and should are different things. Respect must be earned, you know. Cheaters shouldn't get respect, man. You don't have to respect someone who cheated or did other unsportsmanlike stuff, you know. Anyway, I'm very passionate about it, as you can see. But most people, they can't see the forest for the trees, like I said earlier. They just don't understand what it's even about. And I think that Magnus has been vague because of the chess.com sale. He's probably been asked or expected to kind of stay silent about it. You could just say nothing. Yeah, man, we could just say nothing while fascists are, like, you know, mass murdering lots of people too. I'm even ashamed that I didn't make a bigger scandal about the Hungarian cheater guy. But what am I going to do, you know? Ruin his reputation in the world? It wasn't as high profile a situation as Magnus has with Hans. I tried to avoid it. I'm not sure that's the right thing to do. But the whole thing is, I give up, dude. I don't think that you understand what we're talking about here, man. G-Souts. Again, do you know where the forest is? Have you seen the forest? Do you know where the trees are? We're not talking about cheating over the board because that's very difficult to do. You can probably get away with it in an over-the-board tournament where people aren't paying a lot of attention, like Sebastian Feller and Rousis. But, you know, you're not going to play in the Sinkfield Cup and be cheating and over the board and probably get away with it. You know, that's just bullshit, man. Nobody suggested that but some stupid streamers who wanted some content, and that was blown out of proportion. The guy's an online cheater. Magnus hates him, and that's it. You know, that's all there is to it. All right, I gotta go. Nice knowing you guys. I'm gonna go, you know, hunt down some chess cheaters and hack them into little pieces right now. So when I'm done with that, I'll be back on Wednesday, and we'll do, sorry, Thursday. I'm so flustered now. We'll be back tomorrow night, Thursday. This is Wednesday. Today's for hacking cheaters. Tomorrow is Thursday subscriber stream. Right, multiple times, dude. Of course. Dude, you don't get caught online as a cheater doing it once. I mean, seriously. Oh, it was just the one game against, Mr. Dragon 658 on October 7th. Of course not. Do you think you would get caught if you did it once? It's got to be like, many times. Enough. Most crimes, like in most cases, people who commit crimes. Did anybody see the story in the Washington Post, New York Times? It's everywhere now. In Minnesota, this charity organization stole $47 million in like government funds for free lunches for underprivileged kids, for basically the lunch program in Minnesota. $47 million. They defrauded the government out of $47 million, and they got caught because it was like ridiculous. They didn't just do it once or twice. They were like doing it on a massive scale. It's like you're not going to get caught if you pretend to sell a few thousand lunches or something. It's like when you start selling like millions of lunches that don't exist. I mean, in most cases, like, people that cheat and get caught for cheating are probably they've not just done it once. It wasn't like, oops, I accidentally clicked on that link. I didn't mean to do that. Chess is fundamentally flawed. We should find an uncheatable new version. That's why I recommend Monopoly. Over the board bullet. That's great. Yeah, they could have stolen like a couple $1 million, but they had to steal 47 million. Millions of lunches that didn't exist. So they're not only like thieves, but they're like idiots. And then they tried to like, I think the woman who's in charge of this charity that stole all the money actually tried to sue the government because she didn't get as much as she wanted. Like, it's crazy, man. You got to read the story. It's in all the major newspapers. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Thursday night subscriber stream. Submit your games now. I'll see y'all later. It was fun chatting. Bye-bye.